QueenCityPodcastNetwork.com.
Yo, what's cracking, Panther Nation? It's Rashad. We got 400 people in the building already. 400 people in the building already on click. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. It's about to go down. We about to get into it. But before we do, Dave, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. You know, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna be doing with my Sundays. I gotta figure that out. But other than that, pretty good, man. My daughter's getting into the swing of things on this college application thing. So it's that type of week. It was that type of weekend.
All right, man. Let's cut to it. Let's cut to it. No pun intended there.
No pun intended.
Shot to Smitty, man. But let's get right to it, Dave, because obviously I gotta eat crow. I'm gonna get right to it. Yeah, I was on record saying I didn't see this happening. I did not see them actually benching Bryce Young after 2 weeks. I know it was bad. Probably the right thing to do from a play standpoint, from an X's and O's standpoint. I don't disagree with the move, right? Andy's gives you a better opportunity to win a game week to week. I completely agree with that. However, a decision like this, to me, cannot be made in a vacuum. And I feel like there are unanswered questions that I have a lot of questions. I listened to the press conference.
I did not, and I'm based on. I just saw the tweets.
Yeah, you should listen to it. But I got a lot of questions because Canales. I mean, first of all, Canales looked stressed out. Okay, he had bags under his eyes.
2 days, 2 weeks, and he's already done.
He had bags under his eyes. That's not the same Canales. He was giving more Bryce energy than he was giving his normal self. You know what I mean? So yeah, I have real question marks regarding what we're gonna do moving forward, because I do agree Andy Dalton at this point does give you the best opportunity to win.
So,
but what about next week and the week after that? Is Bryce coming back? Is he done? Is he cooked? And Canales declined to really talk further anything past this week, basically.
So here's my questions. The first question. Well, all right. I want to go down a memory lane. You remember when we drafted Bryce and I said we probably need to play Dalton until we get the line right? And that way you can learn behind him. And folks thought I was insane because you use up all that capital to get him, and I get it, but I think the line was not ready last year. Bryce was shell shocked, dog. He got sacked a lot last year. Missed the game.
Bro, we passed that though.
No, but my point is but that's a culmination of everything. That's my point. Like, you gotta let me build here. That's the culmination of everything. Because I don't think there were times that Bryce looked as bad as he did the last 2 weeks. But I don't think him getting smacked as many times as he did last year helped him. Now, they finally did fix the offensive line, but the decision now to go to Andy Dalton after 2 weeks, I understand from an X's and O's standpoint is the correct thing to do, but I'm concerned about the development. Like, I think he's going to probably get another opportunity elsewhere. I question whether or not he's going to be done here. I question if he's going to play another down here. And I think considering what
we don't know. We don't know.
But like, so for me, considering what we gave up to do what we did, which I was not a fan of, and to do all that, to give up after 18 football weeks is kind of wild to me. And I just, I did not listen to the presser, but I did see some of the updates from the presser via Twitter. And I will say I'm very hesitant to believe that it was Canales and
F it, Dave. Let's talk. We got to get to the point. Let's cut to it. Let's cut to the chase. Did David Tepper make the call?
Yeah, I think he did.
So listen, let's just say this. I know one thing, that a decision like this is not going to be made without David Tepper's input. I don't care what he said. I don't care.
Much.
He basically acknowledged that fact. He didn't want to talk about it regarding the private conversations with with Tepper, but Tepper's gonna be involved with this for sure. He has to be at least informed about it and has to sign off on it. Period. There's no way that Canales can make that decision on his own, bro. I just don't.
I mean, if Canales gave the recommendation and Tepper okayed it, then sure. I mean, I could potentially, but I mean, you meet with the guy every week. It's clear they're still having a weekly meeting. So, I mean, Tepper had to okay this.
So let's rewind because I honestly don't like this. To me, this is Canales' first F up, in my opinion. The way I don't like how this was handled. I'm sure Bryce doesn't like it either because the rumbles.
He said on Sunday that Bryce was his quarterback.
Exactly. Sunday. Exactly. Yeah, Sunday. And I don't care. I don't care about. I see everybody saying, "Oh, he reviewed the film. The film doesn't lie." Bro, he coached the game. He knows what was going on the sideline. He knew how bad it was. Stop the cap, bro. He knew how bad Bryce played in that game. Stop it with I watched the film and made that decision. He knew how bad it was. I don't get he knew how bad it was, bro. He knew. He didn't need film to freaking know that. We all saw it, bro. Stop it with the cap. Stop it with the, I went to go watch the film and the next day I saw it. Bro, he knew. He knew. Bro, he knew how bad it was, bro. Let's stop it, man. Come on, bro. Let's stop it with the cap. He knew how bad it was, then came out in the press conference and said, hey, he's my guy. And then 24 hours, in less than 24 hours, he comes out and says, oh, we're moving on. That's why people looking at you sideways and questioning whether you made a decision. And I commend him. I commend him for making this decision. I commend him for it's a big decision, bro. It's a big decision to make, to sit down your quarterback, the number one pick. It's a big decision. So I do commend him for making that decision, especially after you flip-flopped and said that he was your guy. I give him the props. But let's not sit up here and cap like he didn't know how bad it was right there after the game. He knew.
He knew. I mean, all he had to do was see the stat charts and know. Like he knew. He absolutely knew. He knew.
He knew, bro. He knew. Ain't no have to make sure about he knew, bro. He knew. Listen, okay, for all those people saying what was he supposed to say? He was supposed to say what he did today. Well, he didn't make no promises today about Bryce's future. He avoided all those questions. He said, "We'll see. I'm not making any comment on that. I'm not." He could have avoided that. He did it. He did it just as well he did today. He did not make any commitments regarding Bryce Young's future here in Carolina. He said, "I'm taking it week by week." He could have said that yesterday.
Yeah.
Stop it with the what's supposed. He handled it. What he did today in this press conference, although we didn't get many answers, is exactly what he was supposed to do. He was supposed to say, all right, we'll see. I'm not going private matter. I don't know yet. I got to see. We don't know. He could have said that, bro.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, bro. Like I feel like we're out here acting like he does not have the ability to he said Bryce was a quarterback one day, like less than 24 hours prior to that, bro. Less than 24 hours. He said that. So it's like for me, it boils down to this. He said that, and I'm not being mad at him saying that, but then the next day you pretty much say Andy Dalton's our starter? Like less than 24 hours? You don't just make a decision like that quickly after being confident. And like saying Bryce is your quarterback is the correct answer. But at the same time, like you could have said, well, we're going to reevaluate. I got to watch the film. And then that would have probably created some shakeups. But then
is it the right answer though? I question whether, listen, I understand. I see both sides of this. I'm going to be honest. This is where I'm going to kind of play the fence because I do see benching Bryce. I obviously agree with everyone that Andy Dalton is a better quarterback, is going to put us in a better position to win. Okay. Two parts to this though that I have questions about. Number one, where is the QB whisperer ability, right? That we all hyped up.
So you remember what we talked about yesterday when I said if that man showed up to be the QB whisperer and they flake off of Bryce off of him being the QB whisperer, then why did we hire him? Why do we hire him? Like why? So now if Dalton comes out there and balls out of his mind, I got questions. Why do we hire him? And then he'll be safe, but then that is a safe bet that you guys ain't going to see any more young quarterbacks in these rooms anymore. You're going to see nothing but rotating veterans. We're going to get the next veteran. Like if Dalton balls, do they extend him? Do they go?
Question.
Do they just? Yeah. Do they extend him?
See, now like we potting.
Now we're so potting. Now, so you guys gotta. You guys gotta there's layers. So do they extend Dalton? Do they go after another veteran quarterback? Because it's clear he doesn't know how to take care of young ones. Because why would you take? Wait, let me finish.
No, my fault. Go ahead.
Yeah, why would you take that risk of him giving him the opportunity to draft a guy when he's just showed you that he had an off season, a training camp, and 2 weeks of the regular season, making a decision not to play him in the preseason until the backups at Buffalo, and you're gonna give him enough faith to go get a young guy when he's kind of got some data to show you that maybe he might not know how to do this. Maybe he needs a veteran guy. So that means we might be doing veteran rotations. But let's be clear, guys. We've gone to a Super Bowl with veteran quarterbacks. That's how we got there with Jake. So there's a path to going that route. But if you already signed a 6-year deal with this guy, you're going to expect him to win. Tepper didn't expect this to be this ugly. Nobody did. You didn't. I didn't. Most of the fan base did not.
Bro, we've been so that's the question I have. This is, and maybe that's my fault. That's my the fault I have, because I'm looking a little bit down further, and I understand that Canales' job is to win now. But there's a reason why Dan Morgan and Tillis were a part of this decision. What does it mean for Bryce? So the question I have several questions. Is Bryce Young done here? We don't know the answer to that. Is he going to get another opportunity to get his spot back? We don't know the answer to that. So it just seems like we're winging it at this point. We don't really know what we're doing. It's kind of a week-to-week thing. I don't really have the answers. I have a feeling that we will eventually see Bryce Young again at some point. I just don't see Bryce going out like that. Maybe they sit him for a couple of weeks, get his mind right, and then he comes back. Because at the end of the day, you still have Bryce for another 2 years on a rookie deal. They're not just going to give up on Bryce Young like that this season. I don't see it. I personally do not see it. I get it. I understand it's not
supposedly
good football.
There's a report.
Just don't see it, bro.
There's a report that Bryce was surprised by the decision.
Of course he was. Because of course he was surprised. Dave, his coach just said he was the guy. We were all surprised. Everybody's surprised. We understand it's probably the right thing to do, but we're still surprised that it happened.
So now we're gonna end up trading him. You know that, right?
Bro, maybe that happens. I hope that happens. Number one, I hope it happens so we can get some capital back. We get some draft capital back. That would be nice. Maybe
it ain't gonna be nearly as much as what folks think they're gonna get.
Of course not.
Okay.
I'm not expecting that. I'm just saying something back. You know what I mean? I don't know, but so is it really Bryce though, Dave? Because listen,
it ain't just him.
How many quarterbacks have come through here? Now look at Sam Darnold. Look at Baker Mayfield. Look at all these dudes that leave here and go off.
And Teddy didn't do too. And Teddy was not that bad in Denver too when he left. So
so it don't matter what quarterback you put back here. It's gonna be trash. It's gonna be trash, bro. Like, I understand that Bryce is not playing good football. But boy, everybody that tends to lead this organization looks damn good once they leave.
This is the fourth offense Bryce has had in 18 games, yo. Like, let's think about that for a second. The fourth offense. The fourth. Who's gonna win in that? Seriously. All jokes aside. Like, I understand Bryce is rough, and I'm not.
And Bryce is broken though. He's broken, bro. That the film. I saw a couple of film breakdowns today, bro. He is shell shocked, bro. He don't even look like he don't look like he belongs out there. I'm gonna be honest with you. He looks bad.
Well, so let's get to the. I'm assuming you don't have slides today.
I had no slides. We just talked.
All right, that's no. I just want to make sure because at some point I want to get the promo in. But so let's talk about this for a second because I understand what the decision that was made today, and I don't believe at this point you can bring him back. Like, I don't. Like at this point, you're done. Like you're gonna have to cut your losses. It's over. Worst trade in NFL history. Find one worse than what the hell we did. Find one. We still owe Chicago a second round pick next year.
Yep.
Just find one. I'm looking forward to seeing a worse trade. But I think we have to peel the onion about how this happened. How do we get here? Like what? How do we get here? What can we do to? Do you care? What can we do to fix this?
All right, I don't care. I don't care. I really don't care how we got here, bro. I'm tired of talking about it, to be honest with you. I'm tired of talking. I want to know what the plan is moving forward. That's what concerns me. What's going to happen? Obviously, we got no answers, right? And that's what we expect.
So since we don't have slides, we can play a scenario game.
Let's play. Let's play. I like games.
All right, let's play scenario game. So Andy Dalton is not a starter. He starts for the remainder of the season. He wins one game for the remainder of the season. He goes out to Germany. He beats the Giants.
Okay.
And that is the culmination of the year. So odds are with a 1 win, I think we'll be the worst team in the league. So that'll give us the #1 overall pick. Safe assumption we're going to draft a quarterback. Right? We'll probably draft.
I don't know. I don't think that's the safest. That's the problem. I don't think that's the safest assumption at all.
I do because
absolutely not. I completely disagree. I completely disagree, bro.
I don't know you. I don't know how you don't draft a quarterback at that point. Do I think they should? No, I don't. But let's say they draft a quarterback. We'll roll with Cam Ward. Let's say Cam Ward ends up being the top guy. We don't know who's going to be right now because they're still trying to figure that out. Between him, Shador, or somebody else, whatever, right? So we take him. All right. We don't have a second round pick next year. We'll trade Bryce. We'll say we trade Bryce for a 5th. And I think I'm being very nice saying a 5th. We trade Bryce for a 5th. And so we get an extra 5th round pick. Yay. So did we fix the problem? No. I don't think we have.
No. Because now you've reset yourself. Now you got another year. You got another year. You got to wait to develop a guy. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There is a ripple effect to this. I'll be honest with you, bro. I think the rookie quarterback days are over with, bro. I think they're gonna bring in a veteran. They're gonna keep bringing it. Whether it's Andy Dalton, whether it's somebody else, it's going to be that recycled guy, that Geno Smith, that guy that never got a chance, that backup. They're gonna bring him in, try to fix him. I think the rookie quarterback days are over. That's my opinion. Just because I don't think we've never seen Canales work with a young quarterback. That's
why I brought it. That's why I brought it up yesterday during the show because
all his fixes were veterans. So we don't know if he's truly a whisperer. He's screaming to me right now. He ain't no whisperer. He yelling in my ear.
So here's the next scenario. Andy Dalton goes out there. He strings us 5-6 games, 6 wins.
I think that's more likely to happen, Dave. Six wins with Andy Dalton.
Let's talk
about this scenario.
He strings up 6 wins. 6 wins puts you at the cusp of the top 10. Probably like top 15 for sure, right? Probably like 12, 11, maybe 10. You never know. So 6 and 11, that gets us there, right? I don't think we take a quarterback there. So then it becomes, all right, do we try to re-sign Andy Dalton and try to put more pieces around him to see if he can succeed? Or do we go after a veteran quarterback that's going to be in free agency, whoever that may be?
But just think about that for a second.
I'm just listen. The reason why, by the way,
it's reality.
For the chat, I'm creating these scenarios for you because I want you guys to understand what could happen this year, right? So, and I could have added an additional wrinkle to the first scenario I gave, but I'm not ready to go there yet. So we sit here, all right? We sit here. We're probably going to take BPA. Most likely, hopefully, we can get the top edge rusher, the second best edge rusher in the draft at 10 or 11, because fix some needs. Quarterback situation, like you said, we're going to be team veteran as long as Canales is here. What are your thoughts? Like, do we bring back Dalton? Do we try to get somebody else in the street? Like,
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I have no idea. This is why I thought Bryce was going to continue to be the guy, and then we made that decision at the end of the year. You let it play out all the way. I just don't. I think it was crazy. What I was going to say earlier, what's crazy to me is that the expectation really didn't change with who was playing quarterback, right? Like our expectations was to win 6 games anyway, whether it was
with
Bryce or
Bryce.
Andy back there. So like that's what's crazy. That's what's really crazy to me. It's like we talking about marginal improvement at best, even with Andy Dalton. Like even with and yes he does. And I agree. Again, I'm not disagreeing with benching of Bryce. I don't disagree with it. I just question what we're talking about now. What happens now? Andy Dalton gives us 6 wins. That ain't enough. They're not going to re-sign him off of that. They're not going. And he got to play better than that to get re-signed, bro. They're not going to.
No, but I'm just all right. So, but all right, fine. So he doesn't get re-signed. We're not drafting a quarterback. Not at that spot. Not with the first round pick. We're not. And I don't think we should. So you're sitting in a spot like I don't see a scenario. All right, so here's another one. I'm gonna go back to the 1-win Andy Dalton experiment. What do you do with Coach Canales at that point?
I think Canales stays regardless, bro. I think
Tep
has changed his. Yeah, I think he changed his ways. I legit think he's gonna give Canales an opportunity to get it right with his own guy, whoever he selects moving forward. You got to keep in mind he was giving Andy and Bryce. That's neither one of these guys are his. So whether we go out and get a veteran quarterback or a rookie quarterback, I think he's going to give Canales an opportunity to get his guy.
So, but it goes back to what I asked yesterday, right? It's kind of wild that I asked these questions yesterday and then what happened today, by the way. What did Canales say to get the job? Right?
That's
but that's my point.
I'm with you. I agree with you. I agree.
I know some of it's rehashed from yesterday, but it's fine because with what happened today, it's warranted. So what did Canales say to get this job? If he said, I can fix Bryce Young, he failed. You know what I'm saying? He failed. So if so then maybe they make a shift and be like, all right, cool. You can go to Andy. And he still only plot out 1 win with Andy? Guys, I don't know if you can bring him back in that scenario. I understand he signed a 6-year deal. I know he's probably going to come back, but
you're the only one that bring up a 6-year deal, bro. Nobody cares about a 6.
But that's my point. So that means if nobody
does not matter,
so if nobody cares, if nobody cares, then there's a scenario where he can get let go. We just saw this man fired coaching last year.
I don't think it's gonna happen, bro. I don't think
for Canales' sake, I hope it doesn't.
I keep going back. Things are different around Carolina, bro. I don't know if you could tell, Dave, but you ain't seen David Tepper. You ain't seen him. They don't even put him on the screen at games. We don't even know he has stepped back. So I think Canales I think David Tepper's learned his lessons, bro. He's not gonna fire. I don't think there is a circumstance where Canales is fired after 1 year, bro. He's not gonna do it. I just don't see it happening. I don't. And not until he gets an opportunity to get his guy, his coach. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I disagree. Really quick, Dave, we got to get through all of these super chats. There's a whole bunch of them, so bear with me as I get through all these.
Let's get through the super chats and then I want to do one thing.
Branson Dwyer says 15-2 loading. Appreciate that super chat. Spurgeon Bailey says Red Rocket, New Hope, Super Bowl bound. Acash says PMP, the emergency broadcast edition. Yep. Branson says y'all the best pod, man. I love the show. Appreciate you, Branson. Appreciate it for sure. Knucklehead Cage, the chats button. We told y'all, but guys, hit the like button. Subscribe, join Patreon. Welcome to PNP Live. Y'all did, bro. I ate crow. I told you I ate crow off the rip.
Yeah, the first thing I did. I own that we were wrong.
Yeah, first thing I did was said I was wrong. And hold on, although I was wrong, I still stand by my logic. My logic is absolutely correct, regardless of what happened. I still question what the hell happens from here. Like, what's gonna happen, right? I think that you gave up on Bryce. Okay, now what happens? Dalton gives you an opportunity, the best opportunity to win what 5-6 games. If we turn out to be better than that, Cool. Now, do you think Dalton is going to put you in the playoffs? Is that why you did it? Because you think you have a playoff roster? That's where I have questions. Because you put Dalton in to make you mid. Like, I know we trash, but you put Dalton in to make you respectable. Now, I do get the argument to say that, all right, you can't really evaluate anything because Bryce is so bad. I respect that argument. You can't evaluate the wide receivers. You can't evaluate the tight end. That's very valuable.
There's another thing that we haven't really discussed either. And I know we got to get through these super chats. You got more than 2 quarterbacks on that 53-man roster. And I promise you, the players want to win, guys. Like, I know there's a perception, let's tank it. We always have these tank discussions. The players want to win. And if they don't feel like Bryce can win, you're talking about a toxic locker room environment. So you kind of got to put the best guy out there to have a chance.
It was getting there. You started to see angry, which is what I wanted to see. I ain't gonna lie, I signed up for that. I wanted to see some anger. I like to see Adam Thielen spazzing on folk. I wanted to see what the Titans head coach did. Get up in your quarterback face, man. Make something happen. Like, I want to see that. I want to see some anger, bro. Like, everybody's the fans are frustrated, bro. Like, we're all mad. We want to see it too, bro. Like, come on, man. You act like y'all care. So, and it appears that they do. So Bill Craven says, I think the question now is there a chance another team trades for Bryce before the trade deadline? His contract would be coveted. Very true. You got to dump him. If you don't think he's the guy, you got to dump him and get something back. I mean, you gave up so much to get him.
Maybe the Dolphins will take him. They're looking for a quarterback because they should not play Tua again.
I think Miami would be the perfect place for him to go. You got a smaller quarterback, fits that. He would probably cook down there, to be honest. Darius says, had that same face Frank had the night before he got fired. Tepper is still in full control. He did look. He had baggy eyes and everything, bro. He had a long night. Bro. Sir Ace of Spades. Panthers need to take the Packers way. They do with the QBs. We got a long way to go before we get there.
Bro, but that's about sitting your guy, and that's what I thought we should have done last year.
Bro, the way the Packers do their
thing, they said it for years though.
Bro, that is the outlier. It works. Don't get me wrong, it works, but that is not happening.
And I find it game. Real talk, bro. I find it incredible because they had so many coaching changes. And they still do it the same way. Like when they went from Favre to Rodgers, it wasn't the same coaching regime.
You know what that's called, Dave? Culture. That's a culture thing. That is a culture. That's one thing I will say that I commend. I do commend Canales on it. This is a culture making decision that mid is not going to be accepted, and so I do agree with taking that stance. And hey, you got to move on. So guys got cut from being mid. So I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad. It's a culture building decision to make. So I'm with you. Kendall Johnson says greener move, can't evaluate the others with him at QB, which is what I agree with. Yeah. I agree with that. That's tough to evaluate guys with having Bryce at QB. Max says, any optimism of a watch and learn situation, Rapod? Nah. I think watch and learn ain't gonna work with Bryce.
I think it's too late for that. That's my point too. Like that's part of the reason why I was pushing for last year, because and for me, when it comes to watch and learn is also about the pieces that you have. And last year we were missing a lot of pieces. We had no offensive line last year. So for me, that's why I was like, I would rather sit him so he doesn't get killed and get shell shocked. And that's what we're seeing now.
Yeah, he's broken. He's got happy feet. He doesn't trust his eyes. It's a mess. He's broken.
Yeah, his entire fundamentals are shot.
Double O Kane said Monday Night Football, PNP, and Shive spazzing, man. Get your popcorn ready. Metro says, why as a fan would you want Bryce to work? It's not working. We got to make a change. Y'all chat weird for taking victory laps at the team's expense. Yeah, I mean, I just question, and I agree with this. I agree with this situation.
If you wanted to work, then we wouldn't have had a lot of the fan base wouldn't have been pushing the bench him after yesterday. Because a lot of y'all were, right? And let's not be foolish about it. A lot of folks were like, we got to move on. But the thing is, when you consider what you've given up, and I understand why. And my thing is, it's hard to do that now, knowing what you gave up to do what you did. And I said it on Twitter today. The worst thing to happen was Lovie Smith winning that damn game and Houston falling to 2 overall. Because there's no way we would have been able to trade up to 1. I stand by that. We wouldn't have been able to trade up to 1 if Houston had that number 1 overall pick. Wouldn't have. No way, no how.
Jared says our future is effed if Bryce is done here. QB carousel for 6 years straight is insane. Kyle Allen to Teddy to Sam to Baker, PJ, Sam to Bryce to Dalton, and now to somebody else that we got to sit and wait to get fixed, which is why I think we're going to go the veteran route. And it's going to be somebody that's broken. Maybe I saw Deshaun Watson in the chat. Y'all talking about that. I see it's going to be somebody that's broken, bro. It is. I don't think there's no way. I just don't see. And if we do get a rookie, that rookie quarterback's probably going to sit. And they're going to try to do it the right way behind a veteran quarterback. That's the only way I can see us moving forward, bro. I don't see us drafting a quarterback, starting them again, going through this whole process of starting. I just don't see it. Don't see it happening. Kyle's Uncharted Life. Why didn't Tep make BY9 sit and learn for a year? Yep, it's too late now.
I already said that, guys. I said that last year, and y'all, I got attacked. I said we need to play Dalton last year, and I got attacked. But
Big D says this was his response after seeing that fallout. Or seeing the fallout, excuse me. Double O Kane says, I'll say this on Bryce. Cam Newton warned them to handle Bryce with care. Should we have sat him 1 year like Rodgers, Mahomes, in hindsight?
It wasn't hindsight for me.
You can't do it now.
Can't do it now. It's too late.
Kyle's Uncharted Life says, I'm down with taking for Arch Manning. Arch got 1 more year. So that's what a lot of people are saying right now is take the veteran quarterback, ride it out until 2026, get an edge rusher.
Yeah, so y'all are out here talking Archie Manning, but you're freaking forgetting about one important thing. You know what that is?
Step.
He's a Manning. He's gonna get the pick where he goes.
Or that.
I don't give it like let's not do this. And don't you dare say what are you talking about? Eli's supposed to be a Charger.
If you know, you know. That's a good point, actually.
Eli's supposed to be a Charger. Andrew Luck was supposed to be a Panther. He stayed an extra year. That's how we got Cam, guys. Just want to remind y'all these things. Y'all got to have some history lessons.
8C to MC says, if this was a Canales decision, I feel like it was because the locker room was turning on Bryce. Also, I think you can't even evaluate the passing game. I agree with both points. I think the locker room was starting to turn. Although they're not going to say it publicly, he had the support of Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen. Although he did bark on him, he did apologize. But at the same time, everybody in that locker room frustrated. Somebody got to take the heat. Now, Shy, bro, I need you to read this angrily. Canales up there singing Marley. Every little thing's going to be all right. 13 points amongst the offense and defense, and this team isn't all right. 9 penalties for 90 yards isn't all right. I agree with you, Red Rizzy. Nothing is all right. Nothing is all right with the Panthers right now. Nothing. Wallace says, are the 49ers paying Purdy? A good question. They got a lot of guys that they paid. Right now. So I don't know if Bryce is going to be in the cards. I feel like personally they could put anybody back there and cook, to be honest. Well, not anybody, because they tried it with Trey Lance. It didn't work out. But they can put damn near anybody back there, and it's going to work. I don't know what they're going to do with Purdy. I'm sure they're going to try to work something out. Branson says, do we develop Plummer? Man, I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. Plummer ain't the answer. That's why I really ignored all the Plummer stuff yesterday, because I know y'all saying it to be funny, but it's not realistic. I don't think Plummer's a long way away. Jonathan says, bring in famous Jameis. I wouldn't be mad at that either, to be honest with you. Deontay says, Shy looking like Murphy Lee right now. Man, shout out to Murphy Lee. I used to get called Murphy Lee back when I was in high school. Wade Evans says, it's tough, but with Bryce at QB, we have no idea what we have overall. We need to evaluate the whole roster. Bryce looked like he wanted to cry, and as Clowney said, the team feeds off the QB energy. Good point. It's a good point, man. I don't disagree with you guys. But what you gonna do if Andy Dalton still produces you L's? Because again, I think that we do put a lot of it on Bryce, but it ain't all Bryce. Let's be 100%.
It's not. Now, Bryce, and the thing is, let me and be clear, Bryce has been bad, and I mean bad. But there's a lot of other problems with this team. I could argue not taking a quarterback if we don't win a single game if Bryce would have stayed on the roster. I could argue it. Because taking another quarterback is just you're putting look, man. Let me set up
Pod Dave.
There isn't a Cam Newton in every draft, guys. Okay? I know we're spoiled by what Cam did here. And I know we think that we can just get a quarterback and not fix anything else because of what Cam did here. Cam Newton was able to freaking go to a Super Bowl with a suspect offensive line and Ted Ginn Jr. and Philly Brown, and shout out to both of them as the starting round receivers. There's not a Cam Newton in every draft. Cam is one of one. A lot of these quarterbacks got to have help around them, particularly when you typically bring in an Alabama quarterback. Those quarterbacks are pretty damn good because Alabama has a lot of talent around those quarterbacks. Right? Mac Jones, who? Jalen Hurts, he has help around him. Like, you have to have talent around these guys because Alabama puts NFL high-level linemen, high-level receivers, high-level running backs around these quarterbacks. Phenomenal defenses. So when you take a quarterback like that, you draft him number 1 overall, you have to have the pieces around him because this is the NFL. If you don't have the pieces around them, they're going to struggle. Point blank, period. They're going to struggle. Cam Newton isn't there isn't a Cam Newton in this upcoming draft. There isn't one. And the closest one that was to Cam Newton that was in the draft that Bryce was in, folks didn't want to take him 1 overall, and that was Anthony Richardson. That's the closest guy. And we still don't know if he's going to end up being at that level. But there's not one of those in every draft. So I was on the chat. Let's go get a quarterback next year. How about you fix the roster first before we bring another quarterback through this gate? That's a rookie. How about we start there? Fix the roster. Like, get stuff around the guy. So when we do put one in there, it works. You think Mahomes is going to be special without all the things he had? Remember, he became the starting quarterback for the Chiefs when they made the playoffs with Alex Smith. So, and those guys aren't in every draft. They're not. So we have to stop this. Like, did we hit through all the super chats? Did we hit everything? We still go through super chats?
We got a long way to go, bro.
Let's keep going with the super chats because I'll be here for another hour. You let me. So
we got a long way.
Keep rocking, bro.
And we greatly appreciate these super chats, by the way. I'm not even monitoring the real chat because there's so many super chats. So we greatly appreciate this. Norman Davis says, if Dalton gets a 6 wins with this squad, you got to re-sign him.
I mean, you kind of do. And honestly, I'm going to keep it a buck with you, Rashad. I'd rather they do because then that forces them not to take a quarterback early. Because I don't think that's wise. But
you also got to think, man, backup quarterbacks ain't cheap. He not stupid. If he gets us 6 wins, he got a little bit of leverage. So he's gonna want to get paid. No, it's not fine. Not when you don't have any cap.
But the thing is, if you're gonna go the veteran route, you got to pay somebody anyway. Like, so it's gonna happen.
But Dave, that's the point. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Is that's what has me worried. You have to pay a guy. Not only that, you got to pay JC and all these other guys that you got to bring back. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's a lot of money. We don't have cap space. And we don't. I mean, the draft, depending on what the draft, we do have draft picks. But it's not, the situation is not good. We don't work probably the worst team in the league right now. We don't have any cap space, right? The cap situation is bad. You don't got a lot of talent. You know what I mean? So it's just bad across the board, bro. It's a bad situation for the Panthers right now. But let's keep it going. My bad. I lost my spot. Acash says, I think Canales would have said he would do everything he can to fix Bryce, but if he can't, then Tep needs to give him a chance to work with his guy. I think that's what Canales said, potentially. That's potentially what happened. But we don't know. Obviously, we're not in those conversations. But that is something that could have happened. I hope that conversation did happen. I hope Canales did say he couldn't 100% with certainty fix Bryce. I hope that was the case. Because if he did, he signed his firing his walking papers. Yeah, I mean, because that's it. But I hope that don't think that was the case. Johnny Mac says my name got pulled in a ticket giveaway last week. Good thing for my mental sanity. I was at work and missed out. Daggone, Johnny Mac. Daggone, bro. Look at God. Look how God worked. Protecting your mental health.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it? Won't he do it? All right. The champ says, Noli says, I'm gonna watch Miami Hurricanes football now, man. Yeah, you and me both, because Florida State trash. KPD football says, after 2023, BY needs a trip to the mountains with A-Rod. He needs something. He needs something bad, bro. He needs something bad.
He's down not bad, yo.
At Andy's presser, he legit looks happy to start and might make moves. Offensive scheme is still the problem. Drafting defense still does not help score points. So it might help you. Could help you a little bit. Could help you put the football in a better position. You know what I mean? But yeah, Andy did look excited. He did look excited to get the start. He said, when he signed here, he wasn't sure if he had the opportunity to start. He wasn't sure. You know what I mean? So he's excited. I'm sure he's not overly excited to do it at the expense of Bryce Young, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So, Andy, we're going to see, bro. One thing, too, I think it came up at Canales' press conference is how healthy is Andy Dalton. We forget that Andy Dalton went down in training camp. So I don't know how healthy he is. And Canales
how about this take? What if Andy was winning the job? No, he wasn't. No, let me shut up.
No, yeah, he wasn't, because he didn't
do nothing to win the job.
Yeah, he was out a lot in training. He got hurt I think one of the first early practices he got hurt, and then that's when Plummer took over. So, but yeah, man. Yeah, I just hope he's healthy. I hope he's good, and there's no residual effects from his injury that he suffered during training camp. So we'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens. Clell says we just got to take it day by day. Shit sucks though. Yeah, it is what it is. Man.
It's bad.
It is what it is. C. Lou says I think this move was about not losing the team more than anything. It's 52 other guys on the roster.
I'm telling you,
on the team forget BY. Yeah, that's the point that Dave said earlier. I don't disagree with that. That's a great point, and I think that's a valid point for sure. James King says, what about the defense? They're not playing great. Yeah, they're not playing great, but they did enough. They did enough to help, and the offense didn't meet them halfway. Yes, I know JC got beat early. I understand that. But he also created a turnover on the next drive. And the refs kind of robbed us and screwed us up a little bit too on the fumble, which should have took 6 off the board, and then that daggone interference play. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It is what it is. I don't know, bro. But yeah, defense isn't perfect by any means. But they did better than they did against the Saints. We can't say the same for the offense. Hitman says Bryce will not go anywhere. He will learn watching. Oh,
I'm not sure. I'm not, bro. I don't look. Carolina might have an intention to try to keep him around, and it's very possible that would be the case. But I don't think Bryce's agent is gonna let that fly. I think they're gonna try to get out of there sooner than later.
Yeah, trade request probably coming soon.
Oh yeah,
but let me just say this too, bro. Let me just say this, bro. I kind of saw the right, but bro, I saw this at training camp, and I brought it up in one of the training camp practices. Man, Bryce he did not look like he was in it, bro. Like he just looked exhausted. He looked like the daggone just the world was eating him alive. He just didn't look excited about being here. He's walking out, look kind of moping.
He's never. Dog, he's won everywhere he's gone.
Yeah.
Like, and look, man, and I have, like, I said this once in the past years ago, and I'm like, sometimes maybe you don't want a quarterback that's out here winning all the damn time with these high-powered offenses and defenses. Sometimes you need somebody that can get it out the mud. Bryce had everything around him. And I know some people are saying, well, that last Alabama team wasn't that good. But we're talking about Alabama. Like, we're not talking about Ole Miss. You know what I'm saying?
Don't
like
Ole Miss balling right now. Don't
they
do Ole
balling
Miss
now,
like
but
that,
they weren't always balling. Is my point. Or Mississippi State.
I'm joking.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, Purdue. Like, you need somebody that can do it when it ain't always everything good around you. You know what I'm saying? So when you have quarterbacks from these big schools that are highly ranked, you got to take that into account. But okay.
That's valid. It's a tough adjustment. You go
tough
from winning your whole life to taking L's.
I think to go back to Cam, I don't think folks realize what Cam did. How many players got drafted from that offense that he had at Auburn? It wasn't many, if any.
No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was
none.
any.
Other than him.
Just Farley.
Nick Farley.
Yeah.
It was on the defense side. That was it. And it's crazy that he was able to do that in the NFL, which goes back to my point from earlier. There ain't always a Cam Newton in this draft, guys. That doesn't happen often.
All right. Landis says, can y'all name another situation where an offensive-minded coach couldn't fix a QB but was able to have success with another one? Offensive-minded. That's a great. We might need to unpack this one, Dave. We might need to take this as a sidebar, do some research, because I don't know, to be honest with you. Landis, off the top of my head, I can't. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, I've seen a situation. Well, we might see the opposite with Sean Payton right now, right? But then again, he's got Drew Brees when Drew Brees figured it out, right? He got Drew Brees when Drew Brees figured it out, and that's how he ended up in New Orleans. But now we're about to see if he can develop Bo Nix and etc. So we'll see. Yeah, interesting. Okay.
I'm just writing this question down because I think it's a good question.
Yeah, I know. I mean, if you don't count Breeze, Sean Payton wasn't able to do. I mean, has Sean Payton been able to develop a quarterback? I mean, because he kind of, has he? I don't think he has yet. Yeah. I mean, Breeze was already Breeze when he got to New Orleans.
Jimmy says Bryce can't see over the line. Yeah, a little problematic there. Joe Clarity says, so we break QBs, let talented players go, and wonder why we're constantly in our position. Worst part is that another team will make him work while we keep spinning. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. See, the names are plenty. CMC, countless players we let walk through this.
CMC ball for us, but he balled for us too.
He did, but
didn't win.
Yeah, he did. What about Brian Burns? Because I heard the
Giants are already fed up with him.
I think they're a little pissed.
They're fed up with him already, guys.
They're saying they got fleeced. Noli says, Cam Ward 2025. We gonna see. Marty Shorter says, build a team inside out. If we get the first pick in 2025, trade down and get picks to build the offensive line, defensive line. That is a great suggestion. I think that is absolutely what we should potentially do. If we get a top pick, absolutely trade it back and see if you can get one of these quarterbacks later. Potentially, get an edge rusher because we need help there. There's no. We got a lot of issues, y'all. We got a lot. It ain't just Bryce. Be clear on that. It ain't just Bryce. Wade says, even if we take L's with Dalton, but the offense is functioning and we're competitive, I think that alone is progress. As long as we rebuild properly. You know what? I don't consider that progress. You want to know why? I don't see that. And it depends. Defensively, yes, I would like to see some progress, but taking L's with Dalton, but being competitive, that doesn't give me any hope because that's not your quarterback of the future. I'd rather take L's with Bryce and be competitive because I know Bryce is getting better.
Yep.
So give me the L's with Bryce versus giving me L's with Dalton. And hopefully, and it's not happening now, so I get it. I understand why you benched him. But I'd rather take the L's with Bryce and getting him developed than Dalton taking L's. I don't. I hope that makes sense. Ben Lee just dropped a super sticker, man. I appreciate that. Ronnie B says, I wish Cam would just announce his retirement so our fans would quit bringing his name.
That wouldn't stop that, by the way. Just so you know. That wouldn't stop it. He's still going to be eligible for the Hall of Fame if he hits 5 years of him not playing, by the way. So it doesn't matter if he puts his papers in or not. Just so you guys know. Yeah. It doesn't matter. If it's about if he's not if he hasn't played in 5 years. And I mean, we can have the debates once he's eligible whether or not he can go, but we'll see.
I did not know that. I thought you had to officially put the papers in.
I don't think so. No, because somebody made a comment about that about a year or so ago.
Interesting. Rashard, that's Rashard. I'm Rashad. Keep that in mind. There is no R in my name. That is Rashard. I am Rashad. In today's league, you need an athletic quarterback or a dominant wide receiver group. Draft pick or pick up from another team like Malik Willis.
Did you see Malik Willis do his thing last week?
Bro, yes. That's what makes it frustrating.
Bro, that man went to the Packers, ain't been in the Packers that long, and he came. So that tells me that they don't have to wait. But yo, the dude was doing his thing.
Yeah, he was. He was cooking.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, James Cameron says Dalton might be the 2024 version of Jake Delhomme. Maybe.
Jake Delhomme started. Shout out to Jake. Jake Delhomme started. Well, he ain't played yet, so we'll see.
Shout out to Jake. He was at the game on Sunday.
The irony that the crew changed after the game, but
kudos to Jake, man. He hit the key pound the drum, but we definitely never pounded, not one time. Pause. Mangum Cole says Dave did avoid the health question, didn't he? Which health question? Andy, regarding Andy. About I think that's what you're talking about, Mangum Cole. Preston, let me know because I can't remember. And my apologies, you probably sent this a long time ago. I'm just getting it, so I apologize. Jalen says, Shy, forget the worst team in NFL since Tech were the worst team in American major leagues regarding win percentages. This franchise is an issue, or this is a franchise issue.
Yeah, it is.
I agree with you. Don't disagree. I don't disagree.
Yeah, we're not arguing there.
We're bad. Dave, you hit it. He always was the man first trial.
I don't know what that means.
I have no clue what that means. I don't know what that means.
It gets better.
Juice Wick says I was on CBS with Brown Baghead MSG sent to Tap receive. Message sent.
Oh yeah.
Tap received. Yeah.
Yeah,
Brown Bags was definitely in the building, bro.
Yeah, this chat is wild right now. But before we get into more discussion, man, I got to talk about Underdog Fantasy for a few minutes. Look, man, they're doing specials. They're doing the no sweat token tonight. You can utilize it during the in-game lives. You get opportunities for there. But so go to underdogfantasy.com and use the promo code PNP. It really helps out the channel. So go to underdogfantasy.com, use the promo code PNP. They're going to have a lot of great specials throughout the week. I'll talk about them during the show. And yeah, man, just make sure you go to underdogfantasy.com. It really helps out the channel. Use the code PNP. They're doing a deposit match up to 50% of what you put in. So if you put in $500, you get $250 for free. But yeah,
shout out to Underdog Fantasy. We got more super chats coming in. More super chats, man. We appreciate these. A-Cash, gotta love PNP with Dave and Rashard. That's funny. Sorry, Shot. I couldn't resist, man. I appreciate, bro. You have no idea how often I get called Rashard. There is no R in the last part of my name. That's why I always bring it up, but it's pretty funny. Thank you, A-Cash. Great Fox says, I know the stream is about Bryce, but why is no one talking about this bad defense? Evero is a great play caller, but the defense, but he is awful at evaluating talent. No, I just think that, yes, the defense has issues. I think that the lack of pass rush is definitely hurting us. I think that there's injuries that we dealt with from or that are dealing with on the defensive side of football. So the personnel isn't quite there yet. And so I know Josie Jewell, he didn't have the best day. I get all that. But he knows the system. So I guess that was the thought process behind bringing him in. But yeah, the defense is not great. But the reason why it falls on the offense is because the offense was put in position to score points and they didn't. So we constantly put our defense, when you're losing the time of possession battle, when you're losing week in, week out turnover battle, like it's tough for your defense to man up. Like you're putting your defense in bad position over and over and over again. And that falls on the offense. It's that. So it plays hand in hand. They both do play hand in hand. Defense is not, again, they're not angels in this situation. They definitely deserve some blame, but the offense is the real culprit here. Aiden says, I'm switching my major to sports management. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna get the Panthers GM's job and get us right. Just let me cook.
They ain't gonna
Shout
hire
out to
you,
Ada,
bro.
man. I support you.
We
I support you.
we've been trying to get hired for a while, man. But I'm afraid to get hired now. They might fire us as soon as we show up. But carry
on. Big D says, pause. We will see Bryce again. They are saving his
y'all are
future
wild.
confidence, bro. I don't know about that one.
Y'all are wild. I'm not sure, bro.
No Kool-Aid sipping Big D. I don't know about that, bro. His confidence is probably at the lowest. Is gonna getting benched. That's a low,
After
bro.
week 2, Rashad.
That's a low.
After week 2, with a brand new coach. Like, do you see a situation where it's possible that Canales evaluated what he saw and made the decision that it might make sense to sit him, and maybe we'll try it again next year? Do you see that as a scenario?
That's why I don't think. That's what I'm saying. I don't, because if they did that and that's the plan, this is complete nonsense. If that's the case, Canales has
but then you ask the question: was it because Dalton was hurt that they had to go with him at the beginning, and they might not had an intention to do so?
No,
but I don't think that was the case.
No, that's not the case. Bryce,
and that's the thing.
Like, guy, Bryce was always the guy. And again, I understand the move to bench him, but if he's not, I don't see any scenario where they bench him for this year, or even a lot of this year, and then bring him back. I think it's gonna go. The only way that Bryce comes back if Dalton stinks it up just as bad as he did, and there's just no other option.
You might as well play him at that point and figure out what you want to do.
I don't think there is any scenario other than Andy Dalton be complete trash that Bryce Young is brought back to play, and that's why I didn't think that would happen. I didn't think it would happen, bro. I did not think they would actually sit Bryce this early. I thought they would at least give it to week six or week 7, then make the decision, because you kind of got a better idea. You got a full set of a tape to deal with. But I guess they saw enough after 2 weeks, and so there is zero way that I see them sitting Bryce, playing Dalton for the rest of this year, and then deciding to start Bryce Young next year. There's no way that's happening, bro. No way.
Like no chance in hell, huh?
No way. Vince, no chance. Couple more super chats coming in. Yeah, my man Juice Wick says, I'm confused. How's a demotion a boosting confidence? Yeah, that's a great question. Knucklehead K says his injury last year, fluke or what? Because it's week 2 again. Injury last year when Dalton stepped in. I don't know. Great. He did end up playing again after that. So he got his job back. I don't see that happening this year.
Dog, I don't want to draft a quarterback next year. Carson, if Ward does a CJ versus UGA in the CFP, do y'all want him? Nope. I don't want a quarterback next year. I have no interest in drafting a quarterback next year.
None. Ask me if it happens. Ask me if it happens again, because Cam is balling right now. I ain't gonna lie. But
look, bro,
I don't know, bro.
We're just gonna keep recycling this shit, looking for the next guy that can actually do what Cam Newton did. That's what we're trying to do right now. I'm good. I don't want to draft a quarterback till we fix all the other pieces we got.
Justice says Justice says if there's enough confidence, or excuse me, enough difference, and Andy, BY is gone, a goner. I agree, man. I think he might be done, which is why I didn't expect it to happen. That's why I didn't expect him to actually bench him.
Noli, I'm not tripping. Don't put me in all caps, bro. I don't want to draft. Look, Brand, dog, fix everything else, man. Don't be out here putting a quarterback in here for us, and then y'all gonna be complaining about the fact we ain't got no pass rush. Quarterback don't know how to do things. Quarterback getting killed. Nah, man. Fix everything else first before you bring another young quarterback in here. Go with veterans until then. Straight up. I'm done.
Yeah, Big D sticking with his point. He'll be back this year. Dave, he gonna want that button press too. I told y'all. He gonna want to see that. He gonna want to see. He gonna want to hear that.
He'll get it. He'll get it if it happens. I think the only way we'll see Bryce again is if Dalton gets hurt, or he's just like you said, if he's as bad as what Bryce is.
Well, y'all are killing these super chats, man. I appreciate it. Wade says, in what other profession could you potentially be historically bad at your job and still keep it? Letting Bryce continue to struggle sends the wrong message when you're trying to build a culture. Now, I would agree with that. But there's other things at play when it comes to this. It's not just, hey, you're playing bad, so we got to bench you. Like, there's future cap, there's future roster build. There's a lot. The court, it's the most important position in the NFL. And when you can't get it right, it's gonna be bad. Like, you have to move carefully with this position. You can't just wing it, which appears like what we're doing, just winging it. Every step we make, it just seems like we're just going with the wind with the quarterback position. So I understand it, I get it, but it blows my mind. What are we expecting to win the division with starting Andy?
If they do that, Andy's gonna be our quarterback for at least another 2 years.
That's not my point. My point is,
well, no, I'm with you.
Are we expecting to do that? My point is that we knew we were going to be struggling this year. We knew it. You even Canales even acknowledged that we're not going to be good this year. It's a rebuild. It's slow. It's a process. Well, if that's the case, stick with your process.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to. I don't know, but apparently he's done. And if you're done, you're done. And it appears that they're moving on. So if they're moving on, I'm moving on. Red Rocket time. I'm with it. Let's go. Let's go out there and see what we can do. All right. Let me go ahead and hit some of these more. Super chat game is crazy today. Hotspur says, all I know is that S2 tests can't mean shook studies. That's funny. That is funny, bro. That is really that's funny. Noli says, Dave, we have the OL and wide receiver core now, and PFF agrees. Yeah, they definitely agree with the O-line. O-line, yeah. They struggled in the run a little bit, but pass protection
overall, they do got pass pro down.
Yeah, they were solid. So O-line looks pretty good. ACAS says, I agree with Dave. Build the roster, then get a QB. I've always believed this. Yeah, I mean,
otherwise you're just doing the same thing you just did with Bryce.
Yeah, I get that, and it sounds nice but when you have this beautifully built roster and you put a rookie quarterback in here, and that rookie quarterback don't play well, we're gonna be right back in the same position we was in. I would guess, obviously, you want to follow the Caleb Williams mantra, I mean, hell, the Texans didn't follow that. Their roster wasn't crazy when they got better coaching, but their roster wasn't OD super nice. It can be done. We just have. I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna chill. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
Caleb ain't been looking too hot either, guys. I just want y'all to know that Caleb Williams has not been looking good. But but it's only 2 games in, so I'm not here to. I'm just trying to.
Black, ain't it?
Huh?
That's the pot calling the kettle black, ain't it?
I'm just saying.
We can't talk about nobody quarterback position.
Oh, I can talk about anybody quarterback I want to.
Especially not the Bears. You can't say that.
I can. I can.
No,
I definitely can, and I will. And I do not listen. I do not care. Listen, I don't care. He hasn't looked good, and DJ Moore is furious. He's furious right now. He's furious. He's furious this week. I watched that game. He was furious. He wasn't happy. They went to Justin Fields to this.
I didn't watch that game. I turned it off.
I know.
My mental health was not prepared to watch that game.
I saw the damn montage before the game started. If you would have saw that, you would have been furious. Carolina made an appearance in that montage.
No, see, and here you go trying to bring up old stuff.
Anyway, all right.
In my lane, K says, draft a quarterback in a second, create a quarterback competition with BI, and then forces him to get better or get going. That'll be that 3 years Dave wanted. Yeah, Dave, you still sticking with your 3-year thing?
I don't matter if I stick with it now. It's over. It's over. It's over.
Hitman says build like the Texans and Chicago did. Team first, then find a franchise quarterback for the future. These drafts ain't has to hit for these drafts have to hit for the next 2 years. I disagree. I would agree with the Bears. They built that way. Texans didn't build that way. They got a coach. They got a coach that knows how to coach, and that fixed their issues. Yes, CJ it was nice, and they did have some talent, but now they stacked their roster up. Now that you bring in Stephon Diggs after they saw what they had, now they're all in. That's a difference. Their roster wasn't stacked like this last year. CJ propped that up. CJ was him. 24 Dalton isn't winning anything here either. Shout out to they call me KJ. Yeah, I agree with that. I think the improvements are going to be marginal, but hey, yeah, I guess there's nowhere to go but up from here, right? That's what y'all want to say. So we'll go with it. Amari says, if we end up with the first pick, would y'all take a chance on Justin Fields if he leaves Pitt and take the best pass rusher or Travis Hunter in the first? Justin Fields. I don't know that Justin Fields is gonna. I don't know if he's gonna be available. Well, are you saying trade our first pick to Steelers for Justin Fields? Is that what you're saying? I don't understand.
If we end up with the first pick, would y'all take a chance? Nah, I would. I mean, if Justin Fields walks away, because I think he's not under contract. Like, he's a free agent after this year. Justin Fields is a free agent after this year. Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, so would you go after Justin Fields if he decides to leave Pittsburgh and take the pass rusher or take Travis Hunter with the first pick? So if we have the first pick, would you take Travis Hunter or the best pass rusher? I think I would take Hunter.
I mean, was Hunter? I mean, he could play both sides.
He could play both.
Yeah, but where is he
better? It fixes. It's a 2-for-1. Because y'all gonna be asking for a receiver next week.
He's not gonna fix both. He's playing one majority.
No, I know that, but my point is
he's not playing both sides.
No, I know he's not gonna play both in the NFL. But my point is, we got holes in both. Because remember, bro, you got Deontay Johnson that's a free agent next year. Thielen ain't coming back next year. So our wide receivers is gonna be Leggett.
The contract next year, Thielen, but I think he's.
He ain't, like I said, Thielen ain't coming back next year.
I agree.
All right, so like I said, so Deontay Johnson is a free agent. Don't know if he's going to resign with us. Thielen's going to be gone next year. You got Mingo, you got Leggett, and you got Coker waiting in the wings, right? Probably, I mean, if you want to bring Travis Hunter to be a wide receiver, you can do that. You want to bring him in to be a corner, you can do that. So, booyah.
I don't know what I want to do, bro. It's early. I can make an argument for picking up the best pass rusher because that's needed. Clowney's older. We don't have anybody opposite of him. So I could make a strong argument to pick up the best pass rusher and find a quarterback later somewhere else, whether it be veteran or maybe it could be a Justin Fields that we bring in here. I don't know. But I have a strong feeling it's not going to be a rookie quarterback. I just don't see us bringing in another rookie. I think it's going to be a vet. That's my personal gut feeling. Clint O says, my middle name must be Bryce because my $10 super chat got benched. No love lost PNP. I still be in the chat taking L's. Keep pounding. My bad, Clint, if I missed it. My apologies. I don't think did I miss it?
I don't know if you did or not, bro, because you actually were doing it in order, which is good.
I was going in order. I don't know if I missed it or not. It's just a lot of super chats, so it may have took me a while to get it. Wade says, Canales did say when Bryce back foot hits the ground, he lets it rip. He'll know plot twist. Bryce Hill never touches the ground. Very, very good point. You watch the tape, he's throwing off his tippy toes. That he reverts when he gets in that game, he hits the panic button. He reverts back to old nasty habits. It's just bad. Like he looks awful out there, bro. He looks bad. Justin says our next QB.
After you do the super chat, go
ahead. Justin says our next QB is a senior in high school somewhere. Patience. That's not funny. You know, that's really not funny, but it's probably true. That's the sad part, bro. That's the sad part.
That's a fact.
Not funny.
That's a fact.
That ain't funny, bro. That ain't funny. No, that ain't funny.
But by the way, one thing I will say about this whole thing, I don't think the NFL team's ever going to draft a quarterback that's not at least 6 feet again. I think that's over.
I agree with that.
That is over, bro. That is
agree with that.
That is never happening again.
I agree with that.
We only gonna be drafting. We're not be drafting. No, they ain't gonna be drafting short quarterbacks with top picks anymore. That's over.
I agree.
We are the last one.
Agreed.
That is it.
I fully agree with that. I was thinking about that too.
Yeah. That era's over, guys. We're not. Ain't happening. Not gonna happen. Maybe in the 4th round, but not in the 1st.
My man, Matt Lomax says we can probably develop Luton. That ain't happening, bro. That ain't happening. Jalen says build the roster, get a QB. Sounds good in theory, but the issue is the Panthers thought they did that when they drafted BY. The front office thought we were a BY plug-in away. Our incompetence is showing. That is a fantastic point. Fantastic point. Norman says you can't complain and say stick with the process. Yeah, that's true. I mean, so my point is, Norman, is that I want to be competitive, right? My point, and I agree with your point. You can't be upset and then say stick. My point is, though, if, and this is a big if, because Andy Dalton could, hypothetically, in theory, come out there and ball out. He could go off. We could be looking way better and things get turned around. Cool. But if we're going to be taking L's, then what's the point? That's why I didn't think it would happen. So I don't know that Andy Dalton is going to be that big of a difference maker in the W and L column. That was my point. But I mean, your point is valid, though. Your point is valid, Norm. Amari says, "Thank you for breaking my question down, Dave." Shout out to
not
Dave
a problem, Marlon.
for breaking
Amari.
Amari West.
My bad.
Amari West.
Amari West.
Let me go back and see if I can find my man super chat. Oh shoot. Okay, maybe I did miss it. My fault, Clint.
I want Clint W's. Says, I don't care who's slinging the rock. These guys make millions, and I'm not worried about feelings. That's a bar. They take our hundos, and this product ain't it. Fans are pissed, and players are showing it too. Oh yeah. It's bad, bro.
Yeah, it's but bro, there's no magic bullet. That's my point. There's no magic bullet. The Andy Dalton walking through that door. Even last year, when Andy Dalton played well in Seattle, it was a great watch because we had saw some piss poor football before that. So I think we're going to see better football, but is it going to equate to a W?
I mean, I will say this as a Panthers fan, if we can keep games competitive, I'm not going to be mad at that. It'll be more enjoyable to watch at least.
True.
Like it kind of reminds me when Rule got let go, and then all of a sudden you saw Wills come in there, and we started looking like we're a freaking competent NFL team, and we started and then we ended up stringing some wins in. Damn near won the division. So I don't think I'll see that, but at least I'll see us be competitive, and I can't be mad at that, bro. Like it's got to be competitive, man. Like if we were going to see what we saw the last 2 weeks every week until January, I don't know if P&P will survive that, bro. Like I gotta see something. I got to see some level of hope. That's where I'm at with regards to that.
BG said, my insider said a couple months ago that Dan was not playing politics this year and would sit BY after 5 games if it didn't look right. They knew early.
2 games, bro.
We ain't hit 5 games.
2 games.
We ain't hit 5. Double O Kane says, just our luck will end up with fake Mahomes out of Nebraska in 2 years.
The irony that would be hilarious,
a gift
bro.
from Matt Rule. That would be crazy if that happened. But hey,
if we draft a quarterback that he
developed,
Rule
be balling though, bro. I ain't gonna lie. He look like him. Low key.
I haven't watched any Nebraska, so I don't know. I flushed them out of my system, yo.
Obviously, we not gonna call him Mahomes. That's a special, but he warm up like him. He looks like him. Plays a little bit like him.
He looks like him too.
No, he looks exactly. You ain't seen him?
No, I don't. Dog, yeah, I don't watch FBS football like that,
bro. He looks just like Mahomes. He plays like him too. He warms up. He basically modeled everything after. He's a carbon copy. He's a wannabe Mahomes. He is literally trying to be Mahomes.
Well, we'll see what Nebraska does this year in the Big 12.
But That was the end of the super chat so far, man. Y'all was cooking with the super chats.
Y'all
We
are
had
cooking.
almost 100 super chats, which is crazy.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel and hit that bell when you do. I mean, this was great stuff, but we need to talk about the game next week now. We got to have a
We can talk
discussion.
about the game. Let's move on from the Bryce conversation a little bit and talk about the game now that we have Andy Dalton in the building. Dave, expectations?
It'll be more competitive than what it was going to be with Bryce. I'll tell you that. I think for us, yo, man, Antonio Pierce got them boys playing, bro. He got them boys playing for the Raiders.
Coaching.
Yeah. One of the and the thing is, he broke the mold, right? It's rare that a black interim coach ends up getting the head coaching job, but he was able to pull it off. So shout out to him. Mark Davis did the right thing there, and they got a heck of a coach. Gardner Minshew is the starter. Devontae Adams versus J.C. Horn this week. So what are your thoughts with the matchup? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting matchup with JC and Adams. JC has been struggling just a little bit. He's had touchdowns scored on him, or if you want to count the first one against him, Fuller technically was right there. So if you want to say he had 2 touchdowns scored on him, it is what it is. You know, that the play against the Chargers I thought was a damn good throw by Justin Herbert. He kind of dropped it right in there. So I think this is a great matchup. You want to see your top guy go up against another top guy, and in my eyes, Devontae is the top. He's in the top 3, 4, 5 wide receivers in the game. So I want to put a spotlight on this matchup and watch and see if JC gonna step up to the challenge for sure. I haven't watched a lot of Raiders football, so I can't really tell you. I know they got Max Crosby in them. I know it's a solid defense. Obviously, with Pierce, they're going to play defensive football because he's a defensive guy. So, the good news is that you've got a new quarterback with not a lot of film on him, right? There's not a lot of film on Andy Dalton in this system, so you could they really don't know what to prepare for. So if you can catch him slipping, I think you'll see the ball from an offensive perspective push down the field more. Dalton knows what he's doing. He's a veteran quarterback. Might not be the best quarterback in the world, but he's a veteran. He knows how to read defenses. He's going to hit some of those wide open passes that Bryce Young was missing. So you're going to see this offense move the football. I think we're going to put emphasis on the run game. They're going to be able to get that run game going. And it's going to be a good matchup. I think we can win this game. I think it's a winnable game. I thought this was one of the winnable games I had on the schedule, and I'm gonna stick with it. I think it's definitely a winnable game with Andy Dalton.
Do you think we'll be able to stop the run though? No. They got Zamir White, they got Alexander Madison, and Amir Abdullah. So are we going to be able to stop the run? Are we going to be able to do something about I'm more like Devontae Adams versus J.C. Horn is going to be fascinating, but I might be more worried about Jacoby Myers. And the reason why I say that is because I don't trust the second corner.
Mike, all right, man. Mike, all right. He all right. He ain't the worst thing in the world, bro.
He ain't the worst thing in the world, but I mean, I like Jacoby Myers as a wide receiver. So, and then they got the tight end too, man. They got Bowers too. Yeah, they got the tight end.
Yes, that's problematic. Our linebacker play has not been the greatest in the world. That's partially why we can't stop the run. Linebacker stepping up, no Derrick Brown to kind of clog up the middle. Man, yeah, defensively we're gonna struggle. I mean, people are mad at the defense, but I'm sorry, bro. You gotta cut them a little bit of slack there, bro. No Derrick Brown is huge. That's the best player on the defense. I mean, that's a major loss. So you got guys like Nick Thurman stepping up. You know what I mean? That's LeBron Ray. They not world beaters, bro.
They're not Derrick Brown, bro. That's the dilemma. That's a dilemma. Like, I'm looking forward to see if our offensive line continues to hold up. They've been playing really well from a pass protection perspective. I do need them to step up with the run blocking, because if we can bleed some clock, we kind of might have to out physical the Raiders in this game. To be honest with you, bro, we got to be more physical than if we want to have a chance to win this game. I think with Andy Dalton playing quarterback, I think Andy Dalton knows the offense probably better than Bryce. I think Andy Dalton knows how to make decisions quicker.
How you know that, Dave?
When you're a veteran, he's a vet, bro. I think we should be able to. I don't think we're going to see some of the mental mistakes that we saw with Bryce. We can have the debate, and I think Dalton is willing to take the risk if need be. So, the one time he did play during this regime, my man threw up the ball like 60 times. So I think Dalton's taking this opportunity as a resurgence for him. So I think he wants to win this game more than anybody else. So it'll be interesting. I'm always worried about Max Crosby, bro.
I thought the offensive line did well though. You look at what was done against Bosa and Mack.
Yeah. That's what I said. I want to see it. I want to see it continue. Like, I would be devastated if they revert to what we saw last year with Dalton back there, because I think Dalton can make the calls. You know what I'm saying? Dalton can't scramble like that. 38 years old. So he's going to be in the pocket. But sometimes it's not the best thing, because there's some pass rushers that prefer somebody to just sit in the pocket versus running around. So, our offense is going to look a little bit different because of that. Because Dalton ain't a guy that's going to be out here trying to juke somebody out their shoes.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, bro. You got a score prediction you gonna throw out there? I don't know if I got one, bro. Yeah, it's hard. You don't know what Dalton gonna look like, man. We got.
I don't think I'll say this. I don't think the Panthers gonna win, but I do think it's gonna be closer.
Either,
so the line shifted from being -7 to 5.5 when they announced that Dalton was starting. So we got a 1.5 back.
Wow.
Off that,
still five.
Still 5.5. Now remember the home.
Take that.
The home team start -3, because you get 3 points for being the home team. That's worth 3 points. So 5.5. So they're 5.5 under. The Panthers are 5.5 underdogs right now, but it opened at 7. So it dropped. I just found it hilarious because as soon as they made the announcement that Dalton was going to be the starter, the line shifted from 7 to 5.5.
Hey, they said they said it's my fault they benched Bryce.
Nah,
he said it's my fault because I said Shy saying PSL's dropping and they benched Bryce Young. It says my fault, bro.
They blame you for everything, bro.
Wasn't gonna renew, so they was like, nah, we gotta do something quick. We gotta do something quick.
They blame you for everything, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, man. It's gonna be tough, bro. It's gonna be tough. Tough matchup against the New Orleans. So, Dave, let me ask you this: just taking a quick peek down the schedule, what you think is our next attainable game? Like, what's the next one you think we can actually?
The Giants.
Is it this one? Okay, my bad.
The Giants. I'm not changing my mind on that. The Giants. I mean, go over the schedule one more time. Can I change my mind? What we got? They're not beating the Raiders this week. So who's after that? The Bengals. The Bengals might be interesting. Damn, man. No revenge game for Andy Dalton? No revenge game for Andy Dalton?
We're not beating the Bengals, bro.
No revenge game?
I mean, they're winless right now, so I think they might be licking their chops to come see Carolina by the time that week 4 come around. They might be ready. Django said, Dan did say he has no expectations this year. Well, shit, that's a lie. Because if you had no expectations, you're not going to.
You would have kept Bryce Young there. You would have kept Bryce Young there and try to develop him. That's what you would have done.
Well,
you're gonna give a score, bro. Oh, you want a score? Let me do. Yeah. I'll say 31-20 Raiders. We're not gonna cover the spread, man. I don't think we are.
You don't think we can cover the spread?
Nah.
Damn.
Nope.
Mark Mel says, so does Dave ever get a chance to get his guy? I think he does. I think he will get a chance to get his guy. I do. I don't think it'll be a rookie. I think it'll be a vet. That's just my gut. I could be way off. I could be wrong on that, but my gut's telling me veteran.
I think we're going to score 20, but it ain't going to be enough. But, we got other problems, man. And like, I know somebody in the chat says Amir White and and Madison's not good, well, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out real quick if they're not good.
Bro, we can't stop a nosebleed.
Bro, that's my point. Like, if they start running on us, I'm like, how, really? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, bro, I plan on drafting one of these running backs and Underdog for my best ball, for my daily. I have every intention. If I have every intent, I'm gonna go check the carries that those two guys had, and I'm gonna pick one of them, and I'm drafting them in a lot of my drafts this weekend. I'm doing it. Point blank, period. No hesitation. Because I see the issues defensively. I still see problems defensively. So I have no reason not to think that the Raiders is going to be able to score on us at will. Besides the fact that our offense was atrocious, I just don't see a reason to think that the defense isn't going to be better, going to be improved. I'm just going to be real with you. So,
Hitman 50 says Jonathan will be back after this game. Jonathan Brooks is who we're talking about. Now, I think it's the next one. I think he's got to miss 4 games.
Yes, he's got to miss 4 games.
After the Bengals game.
Yeah.
After the Bengals game, not this one. Yeah, Brooks would be cool for the running backs. That's gonna be good. It's gonna be good to see. Now that's a positive. Getting Brooks back, getting some of these guys, Wanham potentially, Dane Jackson. We got some pieces that aren't playing, which are kind of critical to the success of the team. And so it will be exciting to see those guys back for sure. It will be exciting. Will it equate to wins? Maybe. I think Brooks will get in that rotation. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, Dave. Anything else before we get out of here?
Nah, man. We did a good show for you guys, man. Pretty much broke almost 90 minutes. So I think we're good to go here.
Yeah, man. We got almost 1,300 the whole time we were streaming. So we appreciate that. Hit that like button if you haven't done so. Subscribe button, notification bell, get in the comments. We are just under 200 subs until we hit 2,000. Excuse me, 23,000. 23,000 subs. So hit that subscribe button. I think.
One thing I want to make sure folks understand, this is the episode for this week. So there will be no episode tomorrow. So this is I just want to make sure clarity. So, there will be no episode tomorrow. This is the episode for the week. We decided to go on today with the news with Bryce Young. Thought it made the most sense. You guys saw what we saw. So, yeah.
But yeah, man. But that's it, man. Like, subscribe, notification bell, get in the comments. We're gonna holler at y'all. I don't intend on doing any more content this week until I will be live streaming the game on Sunday. So tap in with us. It's gonna be fun. Is that a 4 o'clock game?
I hope so. Let me check.
Tim Hamed said Mondays are back. Yeah, just in the short term.
4:05.
Yeah, it's a 4 o'clock game next week. So that's good news. That's good. Good to kind of chill out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to leave. Well, no, my daughter doesn't have to work this Sunday. Thank God, man. Like, she started work. So now I got to get her to work and pick her up and all that. But I should get the same shift.
All right, man. We'll holler at y'all later this week, man. If any news pops off, anything else happens, we will be right here to cover it. Again, hang in there, Panther Nation. One day.
One day or another.
One day we're gonna get some positivity, some good things happening in Charlotte. One day it's gonna happen. But we'll holler at y'all. My man. Oh, super chat. I missed a super chat. I'll get this last super chat. Brooks still has a limp. He's not coming back week 5. Shout out to RJ. Yeah, probably so. Yeah, I would be okay if Brooks missed the whole season, to be honest with you. It just is what it is, man. Didn't expect anything from him until next year anyway. So it is what it is. But all right, like, subscribe, notification bell. We out of here. Peace.
Peace, guys.